Good evening. I call this meeting of the Township High School District 211 Board of Education to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Barron?
Here.
Ms. Cavill?
Here.
Mr. Dombrowski?
Here.
Mrs. Lopez?
Here.
Ms. Russell?
Here.
Mr. Van Dyke? Mr. Rosenblum?
Here. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. The recommended action is that the board will enter closed session to discuss minutes of meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act and appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Any questions or concerns? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Barron?
Aye.
Ms. Cavill?
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski?
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Russell?
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke? Mr. Rosenblum?
Aye, the motion passes. Good evening. Recommended action is that the Board of Education return to open session. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Barron,
Aye.
Ms. Cavill,
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez,
Aye.
Ms. Russell,
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke, Mr. Rosenblum.
Aye, the motion passes. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, immediately followed by a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is recognition in honor of Veterans Day. Dr. Campbell?
Thank you, Board President Rosenblum. I want to take a moment to recognize that Tuesday, November 11th, 2025 is Veterans Day, a day dedicated to honoring the courage, sacrifice, and service of those who have defended our country. Across our high school, students and staff will mark this important day through meaningful events that include breakfast with local veterans, special tributes, panel discussions, guest speakers, and displays. These experiences provide opportunities for our district to reflect, express gratitude, and deepen our understanding of what it means to serve. You may have noticed the slideshow that played before tonight's meeting featuring District 211 employees who have served or are currently serving the United States Armed Forces. We are proud of their service and honored to have them as members of our District 211 family. This evening, I would like to personally recognize one of those individuals who is with us tonight, Mr. Patrick DeGeorge, Public Relations Specialist. Would you please stand? Mr. DeGeorge is a member of the National Guard. He enlisted as a Stinger missile gunner and went on to serve in several leadership roles, including media relations, chief in charge for Joint Task Force Guantanamo, Public Affairs. That's a large title. At this time, I would ask Mr. DeGeorge to continue standing. Are there any other veterans that we need to recognize? If so, please stand at this time. Okay. On behalf of District 211, thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for your time, and we honor you today. Thank you.
Thank you again. The next item on our agenda is public comments. The board welcomes your participation and values hearing from the community. Please remember that this is a meeting of the board held in public, not a dialogue. So board members will not respond or answer questions during this time. Comments should focus on school district matters, and to protect privacy, please do not mention or identify individual students. We ask everyone to speak with respect and civility so each voice can be heard. Vulgar, obscene, libelous language or interruptions will not be tolerated. If you have concerns about district staff or board members, please follow the district's communication protocols so they can be addressed appropriately. Please note this meeting is recorded and live streamed. It's being watched by people from across our community, including neighbors, staff, parents, and students. Therefore, we ask that you value the procedures and decorum of our meeting, being nice and respectful of those at the podium so they may be heard. When I call your name, please come to the podium and state your name for the record. You may also choose to state if you are a resident of the district. You will have 3 minutes to share your comments. Please note that your time may not be given to another speaker. The timer on the screen, actually the timer on display on the podium, will guide you. If you would like a response from the superintendent, please leave your contact information with Mr. Teneper at the end of the board table. Thank you. So first on the list for speaking this evening is Patty Marasco, followed by Marcia Bame.
Hi, I'm Patty Marasco, and I am a resident. Good evening. My name is Patty Marasco. I come as a former 211 student and teacher, and as a current 211 parent. I have spoken to this board before, along with others, about the needs for changes in EL programming. I am here tonight again speaking for a large group of teachers across the district. During the 22-23 school year, during 6 separate board meetings, several of my colleagues and I spoke about the multitude of concerns and violations regarding EL students. In these meetings, we provided specific examples. We cited laws, shared documented concerns, and asked that they be taken seriously. When the board finally asked Mr. Schumacher to please address these claims in the next meeting, Mr. Rosenblum said, "I have one very simple question. Are we, as a school district, compliant with state-mandated regulations regarding EL students?" Mr. Schumacher replied, "It is a simple question with a complicated answer. We work directly with the state on EL programming." He repeated this phrase, "We work with the state on EL programming," 4 more times, and apparently satisfied, everybody moved on. The audacity of the administration to act blindsided when an ISBE audit determined that the district was, in fact, not following the law. To have not addressed any of the multitude of concerns and pretend to be shocked when ISB finds 9 separate violations pertaining to EL programming, including a civil rights one. This should be of great concern to the board that multiple educators raised valid, documented concerns and were ignored. The administration instead placed the blame on teachers and proceeded to cut EL instruction by more than 60% across the district, a reduction that was neither required by the state nor recommended and was made against the guidance of the EL department chairs. As a result, many students who did not yet have the necessary English proficiency were placed directly into mainstream English classes, regardless of comprehension or progress. While some schools have taken steps to move forward, it's not the case across the district. We have eliminated a Ukrainian teacher, a Spanish-speaking social studies teacher, and a Spanish-speaking science teacher within the past year, despite publicly posting openings for these exact positions. Some campuses currently offer multiple sections of bilingual science without a single bilingual certified science teacher. Instead, they are staffing these classes with 2 separate educators in the same room, one a science teacher and one bilingual teacher acting as a translator. This approach effectively assigns 2 full-time positions to do the job of one properly qualified bilingual science teacher that is trained to do. It's not that complicated. There needs to be a collaborative approach, one that includes expertise of the EL chairs and new multilingual director. These decisions should be informed by collective expertise and not the opinions of one person who is at best ignorant of the laws or at worst knowingly misrepresenting them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Marcia Bame, followed by Lee Bennett. Is Marcia here? That's fine. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lucas Tabaccio. I am currently a student of D211, and I would like to put in a word from the student body about current changes under consideration that would inhibit students from taking 2 additional academic courses to pursue their passions. This change involves revoking students the ability of replacing their lunch and gym if adequate, and the reason behind why I feel this is not really a fully justified thing is that its implementation is making a critical oversight of just of the current of the past promises that the district had made to students. Because as a student, they told me that I could make a 4-year plan, I could follow this 4-year plan, and that for all 4 years, the 4-year plan would continue. However, they are now telling me on my junior year, the year before my plan completes, that this is no longer possible, and instead that I will be 2 courses short of what I would have been, which is, well, for me, not necessarily entirely detrimental. I can imagine there is a multitude of students where this is far more of a devastating effect. In fact, I have 57 emails of students who agree with me on this issue, and this is a small amount of people I've asked, just people that I've been able to in past time of classes. I can only imagine how much support I would get when especially when I reconcile this with some other friends of mine who are collecting names at Fremd as well. I go to Schaumburg, for the record. And both of these schools have been allowing this for years, and now suddenly taking this away really just isn't fair. Most major colleges grandfather these sorts of changes, meaning like they allow for students who are already knowing about the future being in a certain way. The rules aren't going to apply to them yet because it wouldn't be fair. It's breaking that 4-year plan. And I mentioned earlier about students pursuing their passions, and I feel like that's what school's about. It's not about necessarily just core classes. It's about figuring out what you want to do in the future. That's why you go to school. And by taking away elective opportunities for students who could choose to take those electives, you're inhibiting the main purpose of school, which is, as I said, pursuing those passions. I feel a simple solution to this is just to either revoke this change and make it so that instead there are simply more guidelines, more restrictions on what students are eligible to drop these courses if you're concerned about the mental health, which is, I know is a big thing, but in sculpting students' autonomy and telling them what's good for them is not what's good for them. It's not going to help students' mental health by limiting their options, because that's making the assumption that there's no external circumstances that are making them feel they have to. With the current situation of the world, college is something that's very stressful to acquire, and for those reasons, I feel that the change is not considering the student body. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Lee Bennett, followed by Andy John, and I think it says and maybe Carl Kionis. I'm not really sure. Okay.
Here with sports is Lee Bennett. Hello, school board meeting audience. On Tuesday, Palatine's girls volleyball team beat MSL conference champion Barrington. This set up the first matchup of the season for the 2 Palatine high schools due to the new conference alignment. Tonight, Fremd beat Palatine to win the Barrington sectional finals of the girls volleyball state playoffs. Palatine led much of the first set, which Fremd won by the minimum 2 points. This seemed to rattle the Pirates, and the Vikings easily took the second set for the victory. All 12 MSL teams were seeded in this sectional, so Fremd is the only remaining conference team in the tournament. Good luck to the Elite 8 Vikings as they continue in the tournament.
Thank you. Next are our 2 guests from Palatine Township, followed by Kathy Veller.
Hi, good evening, everyone. There's some new faces here. Congratulations to some of you and some other familiar faces that I've seen in the past. And I welcome the opportunity to meet all of you in the future, and welcome to the superintendent and to the new president. My name is Andy John Kalkunos, and it's a mouthful, I understand. I'm the supervisor of Palatine Township. I appreciate the opportunity to present this evening. By law, townships in Illinois are charged with 3 basic functions. A lot of people don't know this, so I like to kind of share and lead off with this. General assistance for those most in need. food pantry, mental health services, and life-saving, life-sustaining, and life-enriching programs. The assessor's office, even though we don't assess the taxes, we help you advocate for homeowners and tax reductions, appeals, exemptions. Road district for the maintenance of all roads and bridges outside of federal, state, and other local jurisdictions. In addition to the township, as Palatine Township and all townships in Illinois, we really are the primary source of humanitarian aid in the community. People call us first, people trust us. We provide social services to 8 municipalities in our community. That includes Arlington Heights, Barrington, Hoffman Estates, Inverness, Palatine, Rolling Meadows, Schaumburg, and South Barrington. We help low-income residents, seniors, people with disabilities live successfully within the community. Tonight, I'm here to solve a problem and on behalf of the vulnerable kids in our township. Our local award-winning back-to-school program supplies program has been helping at-need kids in District 15 and 211 for about 37 years now. High school students are issued iPads by the school, and the parents are responsible to repair or replace the iPads. That can cost up to $300+ if the kids break them, and we all know how that works. The back-to-school program at the township helps to cover the cost of this iPad insurance for qualifying high school students, for example, those who receive free or reduced lunches. This year, we provided 1,195 qualifying underprivileged students with new backpacks full of school supplies and so forth. And we're able to provide the cost of the $25 iPad insurance for over 100 high school students in our district, in our community. So we're able to do this with the generous support of community members and organizations like the folks behind me here today. So I'd like to thank Good News in the Neighborhood Church for their donation of $1,000 and the Palatine Township Foundation for their donation of $1,500 to cover the total cost of iPad insurance of $2,500. So I'm joined this evening by Pastor Luke from Good News Church and Steve Tornatori from the Palatine Township Foundation. I'd like them to invite them, if you'll please indulge us for a quick minute, to introduce themselves and why they got involved in helping in this process. So thank you all, congratulations, and I appreciate the time today. Steve, if you want to start off.
Hello, my name is Steve Tornatori, and I'm on the board for the Palatine Township Foundation. It's been about 3 months now that I've been in charge. There's 7 of us on the board. What we do basically is help people in need. Short-term responsibilities could be anywhere from rent to backpacks to we supply the food for the food bank and things like that. There's 7 of us on the board. We raise money. We have a lot of people that are just the kindness of their heart send us checks. It could be $100 a month, $25 a month, a $5,000 check, an $8,000 check, and we use it for good. And some of these people I'm learning, being here 3 months now, is that they were touched years ago by somebody helping them. Now they're back on their feet again, and they want to help us. So that money comes into us, and the 7 of us try to steer that money to those in need. But I want to thank all the educators that are here for teaching everyone, the younger people in the world, who are going to be the ones for the future. And we're here to help the community, and thank you for having us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. My wife and I are both proud graduates of District 211, have children in the district, and too often if a person who is a leader in the faith community standing in front of you, it's to complain about something that they're angry about. I have no such complaints of any kind. Tonight I just want to thank you for your public service, and as the world gets more complex and we serve all different kinds of people, I think it's really important that in any ways that we can, all the different people trying to serve the community work together, and so we're grateful to partner in this way and try to serve the public schools in our community, and our church is thrilled to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know we're not supposed to respond to public comments, but I'd like to, on behalf of our district, thank you very much for your contributions to our students and those that are in need.
Can we present the check?
You absolutely can.
Almost forgot the most important.
Absolutely.
I'll let you,
Township High School District 211 for $2,500.
Let's take a picture, please.
The board can. Okay, the next action item on our agenda is for the consent agenda. And we have a request to remove an item from the consent agenda, and that is item 6D, State Property Tax Appeal Board Resolutions Authorizing Intervention in Proceedings. So we also have a couple of other items that I'll be mentioning in just a moment, but that particular item will be called upon and voted separately. Because not all board members were present at the October 16th, 2025 regular Board of Education meeting, separate motions on the approval of the minutes of the meetings being recommended will be conducted as well. The first suggested motion is that the consent agenda with the removal of the minutes of the regular meeting of October 16, 2025, and item 6D, the State Property Tax Appeal Board resolutions authorizing intervention in proceedings, be approved as presented. May I have a motion, please?
Moved. Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Barron?
Aye.
Ms. Cavill?
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski?
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Russell?
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke? Mr. Rosenblum?
Aye, the motion carries. Next is that the minutes of the regular meeting of October 16, 2025 be approved as presented. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Barron?
Aye.
Ms. Cavill?
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski?
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Russell?
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke? Mr. Rosenblum?
Aye. The next motion is that the Board of Education approve the resolutions authorizing intervention in proceedings before the State Property Tax Appeal Board, which seek assessed valuation reductions in excess of $100,000 for property tax year 2024. Docket numbers 2024-54308, 2024-48773, 2024-51709, 2024-50074, 2024-54099, and 2024-52458, and further authorize Franzik as the Board of Education's legal representative to file request to intervene in appeal proceedings preceding forms with the Property Tax Appeal Board on the properties for which the district received notification of appeals as submitted by Lauren Hummel, Chief Operating Officer, CSBO, and as recommended by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Barron?
Aye.
Ms. Cavill?
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski?
Nay.
Mrs. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Russell?
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke? Mr. Rosenblum?
Aye, the motion passes. Next on the agenda is the Freedom of Information Act request. This is an information item. Next is placement testing of incoming freshmen. This is also an information item. Next item is the short-term cash flow analysis. This is also an information item. Okay. Next on the agenda is unfinished business. The recommended action is that the Board of Education approve the attached resolution which sets forth the amount of $290,701,000 as the proposed 2025 levy for Township High School District 211 and directs publication of a notice of public hearing on the proposed levy at its meeting to be held on December 11th, 2025, as submitted by Kathy Zalewski, Controller Treasurer, CSBO, and Lauren Hummel, Chief Operating Officer, CSBO, and as recommended by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any conversation or questions? May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Van Dyke? Ms. Barron?
Aye.
Ms. Russell?
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Cavill? Mr. Dombrowski?
No.
Mr. Rosenblum?
Aye, the motion passes. Next item on the agenda is the Illinois Association of School Boards Resolutions 2025. This is an item for discussion. Ms. Russell?
So I spoke about this for the last several meetings, and as the representative for the Board of Education, I am to vote on your behalf. There were 10, there was one resolution, and there were 10 changes in the Constitution and bylaws, and all of those were suggested for adoption. And so I asked that people report to Mr. Rosenblum, President Rosenblum, on how they would like me to vote. If you have done so, that's great. If you have not done so, if you could please let me know at your earliest convenience how you wish me to vote on these particular amendments to the Constitution as well as the resolution. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. The resolution booklet is also included in the board materials. It describes each one of the proposed changes, and I also requested that the resolution be reviewed by our district to make sure that it would be helpful for our district if it was passed. So I ask for your support, please, for all of these, and if you could email me as soon as possible. The conference that I will be attending is scheduled for the Delegates Assembly for November 22nd, so I need to know before then.
Thank you.
I do have a question. Other than changing of words and what have you, the one resolution or the one issue is on bus seat belts. Is that something that's across the board, every school bus in Illinois, regardless of age of the students being transported?
Can't
That
remember
would
if it was
affect 211.
grandfathered or not. I don't think so.
Not fully.
Okay.
So we would have to purchase buses with seat belts as a high school district.
Yes.
I think it's regarding newly purchased school buses.
Well, right, we wouldn't
Rather
have
than
to retrofit
retrofitting.
ours, but any new ones, despite the fact that they most likely wouldn't be used by any kids on our buses, is my guess.
Right,
It's
Ms.
just
Hummel.
a-
I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Hummel to assist with the.
That is correct.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
There is not a requirement to retrofit. There is required to buy new as of a certain date, and there is no requirement for students to be enforced to wear them.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is new business. The first is student report cards 2024, 2025. First recommended action is that the District 211 Board of Education direct the superintendent to post access to the school report card to the district and school websites no later than November 30th, 2025, as submitted by Josh Schumacher, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, and as recommended by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Campbell?
Yes, just thank you, President Rosenblum, for the request. We received our report card status on October 30th, and although we have work to do as we look to see all of our students show growth each year, we're excited to state that 3 of our schools are exemplary, and we have 2 of our schools that are commendable.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Are there any comments or questions? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Russell,
Aye.
Ms. Barron,
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke, Mrs. Lopez,
Aye.
Ms. Cavill,
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Aye.
Mr. Rosenblum.
Aye. The motion passes. Next item is that the District 211 Board of Education approve the Fall Curriculum Committee Report as submitted by Josh Schumacher, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, and as recommended by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Cavill,
Aye.
Ms. Barron,
Aye.
Ms. Russell,
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez,
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke,
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Aye.
Mr. Rosenblum.
Aye, the motion passes. Next item is that the District 211 Board of Education approve the superintendent to offer 5 new in-district courses as professional development opportunities for faculty as submitted by Josh Schumacher, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, and as recommended by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Any comments or questions? May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Cavill,
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez,
Aye.
Ms. Barron,
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke,
Aye.
Ms. Russell,
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Aye.
Mr. Rosenblum.
Aye, the motion passes. Next item is that the Board of Education approve the business for auditorium improvements at Palatine High School, base bid 2, to the 5 lowest responsive and reasonable bidders as detailed in the attached administrative and bid recommendation dated November 6, 2025, for a total of $1,851,208 as submitted by Ricky Sparks, Director of Facilities and Purchasing, and Lauren Hummel, Chief Operating Officer, CSBO, and as recommended by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? May I have a roll?
President
Yes,
Bloom.
Mr. Van Dyke.
Mr. President. Yes, there's a couple items on the agenda here that kind of overlap with the facilities committee that I was a part of this past Monday. And this is one of them. They went over for us, Ms. Hummel, the need of updating our theaters, and that there's been a process through the years to update each school, and previous boards had expressed the wish to have that done with the funds from the previous sale of real estate. And they'd like to move forward with that based on previous board's recommendations and the fact that other buildings have been done and there's a need at this building. As I go back and forth on with our budget the way it is, if this is something that could be postponed, but then I go back to the thought of for every year that is postponed, it's going to cost more to execute just because of rising costs. So we postpone now. Is that really going to save us a year or two from now? I guess I didn't ask that question at the time in the committee, but am I correct in that assumption or thought that postponing 2 years won't save us, but it would cost us?
inflation on construction is going up at a faster rate than the rate of CPI. So yes, any amount of time waited, I would make the assumption, I would say that that would be an accurate assumption that that cost would be higher 2 years from now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And something else I'd like to mention is, in my opinion, and as a community member, taxpayer, and board member, our theaters are part of our curriculum and part of the programs that we offer our students and community. We have students who are in theater. We have students who are in musical programs. We have ceremonies that take place in these facilities. And I think it's very important, and we've heard here at our board table before about the importance of not impacting or taking away from the programs that we offer our students. And I think that having the right facilities, be it auditorium or gymnasium, provide those environments where the students are being able to take full advantage of what our district office offers. So, so I would be hesitant to postpone keeping those programs the best that we can, making sure that they're, some of the things that we got feedback on, that they're ADA accessible, that they have the right technology, that the pure facility itself is being properly maintained to the standards that we need to provide the best curriculum and education and opportunities and programs for our students. So, so that's my take on this as well. And I appreciate your support being with the facilities committee to be someone who's having that keen eyesight and involvement in what we do around those things. So thank you.
Thank you. I also want to say, Mr. President, I want to thank Member Van Dyke for those comments. I share the same feelings. You know, when we're looking at 5-year projections that look the way ours do, and then looking at items like this, I just saw the fall play at Palatine High School, which was wonderful. So from an audience's perspective, it's kind of sitting here and being like, well, it was fine, right? So, and our budget projections really aren't fine, you know? So it's like, and at the same time, like I am working in a different district that deferred maintenance for a long time. I know what that feels like too, and it really results in parts of the facilities to be unsafe and unusable. And it's a fine balance that's very difficult to nail down, for sure. Because if we assume that at some point in the future the money's going to have to be spent, be it 5 years, 10 years, you know, et cetera, it's a safe assumption that the costs are more. But then you still have to work within the parameters of what the budget looks like right now as well, and what the taxes look like right now. And so it's a very complicated picture, and sometimes it's hard to nail down, you know, something that's a want versus a need, and when it should happen, and when it changes from a want to a need, and when is best to aim our budget to get maximum dollar value for dollar. It's very difficult to do. I share your complicated feelings about the situation, so thank you.
A quick question, if I may, Mr. Rosen. The requirements on these bids were that all the work be completed during the summer months and on a constrained schedule?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
I just also want to highlight that some of the improvements that we're making are to be making our auditoriums more ADA access for not only our performers, but the people who are coming to see, you know, our students perform. So I also wanted to highlight that it's really important for us to be ADA accessible.
Thank you. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Dombrowski?
Present.
Mrs. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Barron?
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke? Ms. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Cavill?
Aye.
Mr. Rosenblum?
Aye, the motion passes. The next motion is that the Board of Education hereby approve the sale of the property at 1527 Louise Lane, Palatine, to Quan Shin in the amount of $900,000 and contingent upon the buyer being released from their current lease by November 14, 2025. Further, that the board authorize the superintendent or designee to sign any documents for or on behalf of the board to consummate the sale as submitted by Lauren Hummel, Chief Operating Officer, CSBO, and as recommended by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any questions or comments? May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Lopez,
Aye.
Ms. Russell,
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Aye.
Ms. Cavill,
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke, Ms. Barron,
Aye.
Mr. Rosenblum.
Aye. The motion passes. The next action is that the Board of Education approve the pre-approval form for future expense reimbursement for Kenneth Van Dyke to attend the IASB Joint Annual Conference, III Conference, November 21st through 23rd, 2025, as submitted by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or comments? May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Lopez,
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke, Ms. Cavill,
Aye.
Ms. Barron,
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski,
No.
Ms. Russell,
Aye.
Mr. Rosenblum.
Aye, the motion passes. Next item is a discussion item to discuss any potential topics for future discussion at a future board meeting. Does anybody have any to contribute at this time?
Sorry, it came up during public comments. Last year we did receive a report, so I'm not asking it for it to be on the agenda, but maybe if we can just get some information about kind of where our EL program is. You know, if there's some areas that we're still working on, what might be the disconnect of the information not being relayed back to our teachers. So I do, if it's okay, if we can get some information.
Yes, thank you. If you could give some time, we will absolutely capture that information. It will not be by tomorrow for the end of the week, but if you allow time, we will definitely have it within the week to share. Thank you.
Just one more, or go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
We also heard from a student today, and I so appreciate our students coming to the board meeting to speak. I highly encourage more students to come to the board and speak. I may have missed something, I may have not, but if we can maybe also get some information about some of the concerns that the student has expressed today, just information, doesn't have to be tomorrow, but if you can get it over to us, if that is okay with everyone.
And we will also get that information shared. Thank you.
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Yes, thank you. It's noted.
Great. And in case any board member would like to see firsthand what our EL teachers do, I know some of us in years past have had the opportunity to go into our schools, obviously coordinating with our administration to visit a school and observe classes that are being taught to our EL students, so we could see firsthand how they work and get a good understanding of what our process is in working with those students, so that we know
And reach out to
firsthand.
Dr. Campbell if you want to do something
Yes,
like
reach
that.
out to Dr. Campbell, and she will help along there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is committee reports. So we'll start with Northwest Suburban Special Education Organization, also known as NSSEO. So we had our board meeting last night. I'll update you on that. And are you going to update during your report, or do you want to do it during the NSSEO report on this morning?
I will follow you.
Okay, all right, great. So last night we had our governing board meeting. During the governing board meeting, and I have brought it to this board in the past, we have made some revisions to our articles of agreement, how we operate as a cooperative and how we operate as a board. And you all know that we're looking to change the dynamics and format for the board to have a governing board and a superintendent, currently council, but soon to be a superintendent board if, in fact, the agreement is ratified. So there are 8 cooperative district members, of which we are one. The revised articles of agreement have been presented to the governing board with our instructions to bring it back to our local boards Some of those boards are having meetings next week, and some of them even the week after. I thought with having our meeting last night, that to bring it back to this board would not give enough time for people to really review and absorb and provide any feedback. But I will be providing that to this board between now and our next board meeting. And at our next board meeting, I'm asking this board to either vote in favor or disapproval to ratify the revised Articles of Agreement. There are the current Articles of Agreement call for 5 member districts to approve and ratify the new articles for them to take effect. So we have until December, which will be at our next board meeting, and then if they're ratified and take effect, that they will be effective in January. So that will be coming forth to all of you for our December meeting. So keep an eye out for it and take a look through it and see how things go from there. Last weekend, NSSEO had their Harvest Fest, and you all got an invitation flyer at our last board meeting. It was a very eventful happening at their outdoor education center. It was a nice, crisp day, if you remember Saturday, and very well attended and appreciated by everyone who had the opportunity to go. And just so you can mark on your calendars, for anybody watching, listening, or this board, January 31st will be Winterfest. So don your winter apparel and come back out to the same location to see their winter instructional programs for everybody to take advantage of. And that is my update. Dr. Campbell's going to provide a little bit more update on the Superintendent Council.
Just briefly, we had our meeting today, this morning. It was a great opportunity to come together as a co-op. Much discussion was held around future FTEs, also facilities and operations, things that are related to the buildings in which our students currently sit. So that I won't belabor it, but in conclusion, we will look forward to the input from the board of the direction that the co-op will go. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Russell.
One question. You had originally sent the proposed changes. Were there any changes made to those changes?
There are. So,
Okay.
so the draft agreement is what we always call a living document, right? It has gone through several changes with input from boards. Several boards did provide input. I also provided input from my being on their board, and they also got a lot of input from superintendents. So they took that all together, and you will see the, for lack of a better term, the final draft of that agreement. And I will be asking you if we can, as a board, ratify it and put our stamp of approval on the new agreement.
Okay,
Yes, thank you for asking that. It has changed.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say go back to the one you already have, and yeah, thank you for asking. All right, next on the agenda is our update from EdRed. Ms. Russell.
Yes, thank you. Dr. Campbell and Ms. Hummel and I attended the kickoff luncheon. They provided a great panel discussion. I've written about that, and the questions that were asked, the people that were represented on the panel discussion, all of the different topics that were covered. If you want further information, I took copious notes, but I'm sure that we can get that information for you. The first member meeting was tonight, but I am here and I'm not at the member meeting, but they do record that, and I will report back at the next meeting. I talked about last time one of the Senate bills. It was about AI FOIA requests. I don't know if you remember me mentioning that, but the bill clarifies that FOIA requests must come from real people and lets districts verify suspicious requests before responding. It passed, and it's going to the governor's desk for a signature. And that's it for that report.
All right, thank you. Next is the Community and Family Services Report. Ms. Barron?
Yes, yesterday, the UP Coalition had its meeting, but I was unfortunately unable to attend. So next meeting, I'll have some material to bring back.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the District 211 Foundation report.
At this time, there is no foundation report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the Illinois Association of School Boards report. Ms. Russell?
Thank you. I almost had a written report, but since I'm incapable of doing some of the maneuvering in order to get it done, you don't have a written copy. But thank you for responding to me, please, so that I know how you wish me to vote at the Delegates Assembly. And Mr. Rosenblum, President Rosenblum, and Dr. Campbell and I attended the North Cook Division meeting. There was a speaker, I think I'd mention it next time. It's Dr. Doug Bolton, and he presented from his book, which is called Untethered. I have not yet purchased it, but I will. There is now confirmed data and research, and I think we all knew this in advance, that kids' well-being if the students' well-being is better, they do better in school. I don't think there's anything new about that, but those are the kinds of things he spoke about. It's important for adults in the school as well as others outside school to be involved in their education. And one other thing he noted is that District 54 had worked with him and saw a remarkable increase in student scores and behavior improvements as a result of the process, the outline that he provided in his book, Untethered. And I do have one question for everyone. I should know this, but I don't. Does everyone receive from IASB regular weekly updates on both federal and state legislation? Okay, then I won't have to talk about that at all. You can just read it. That's it for me.
Thank you. And real quick, so I went home from that dinner meeting and mentioned to my wife, who has been an educator in District 54 for 19 years, who the speaker was. And she was extremely excited. And Mr. Van Dyke, you may know him as well. District 54 started an initiative about belonging, and they used a little orange frog and some other things, and really went full in with his philosophy, and it spread like wildfire throughout the district, and it was really incorporated to how they operated and their culture as a school district. And like Ms. Russell mentioned, he specifically pointed it out, and we were sitting at the table with District 54 board members and the superintendent, and he went like that, and there was 54 sitting right in front of us. So it was a really good program and very informative for us. So thank you for that. Okay, and next is the Facility Committee report. Mr. Van Dyke.
Yes, thanks. I covered the theater already, right? Palatine needs a couple chillers, what we were told, and as you can imagine, if the current one goes out on a hot day, it could be problematic. These two new chillers that they want to put in would take care of that, and then kind of be able to overlap each other, is my understanding. Again, in my mind, that's a good thing. If the current one goes down, now what are we doing? Canceling classes till it gets brought up, and it may not get brought up. Hoffman Estates locker room is the last locker room.
Yes.
That we're looking to renovate. It was nice that Ms. Hummel presented some pictures to the group. And I haven't seen the new locker rooms in person, but I certainly haven't seen Hoffman Estates' current state or their locker room and shower room. But she did provide a picture, and it's a room, and you've got these poles with shower heads around the poles, and so it's like these older movies that you see people are taking a shower and they're all in there together, and I know I wouldn't take a shower in there myself, But then after the fact, I was thinking, well, even if you have private showers, are they utilized in our schools that we have updated? It's just an afterthought. Are they actually utilized? But that's the final school to be brought up to new. And then the last subject was school safety and security. And I'm not big on discussing that publicly, what we do. And I would appreciate some time. I know we can go into a closed session and discuss school safety. And I would appreciate as a board if we could be brought up current on what we're doing in the district. They presented a lot that we're doing, and I appreciate that. But I know myself being new and a couple other board members, I would appreciate to have a more in-depth just around safety and security, a back and forth. But that covers, I believe, what we covered that night, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Van Dyke. I agree. I think that that's an excellent idea in closed session. I think especially for new members that need to be caught up on some of the things that this district does, I think that'd be great. Maybe, I'm sure President Rosenblum can find some meetings in the early winter that maybe aren't as chockers with presentations that would keep us here till 11:30 at night and get that done with respect to everybody's time and mental health. The other thing that might dovetail nicely with that, since we're already having to have time in closed session about that, if I remember right, several board recaps ago, there was a mention, I believe, of some provision as a result of state changes with policies regarding ticketing for police officers that are working in our schools. Some of those agreements that we have with our police officers, which dovetail nicely with our security and safety, there might need to be discussions already happening. So maybe whenever those are happening, we could put those two things together and two birds with one stone. Just an idea.
I think those are great ideas as well. All right. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is the superintendent's report.
All right, good evening again, and thank you. It's hard to believe that we are nearing the end of our 12-week grading period and also my first 100 days as the proud superintendent of District 211. In late October, I attended several events that have already been mentioned, including the District Advisory Committee for Educational Excellence, the EdRed Annual Kickoff Luncheon, and the IASB dinner hosted by District 214. Dr. Doug Bowden, as spoken of earlier, message at the IASB dinner was extremely powerful, reminding us that supporting the whole child truly means supporting the whole child, particularly as mental health is truly at an uptick. In partnership with District 15, District 211 team members held our District Advisory Committee on Educational Excellence, bringing together representatives from our schools, park districts, police and fire departments, and community organizations. The discussions were robust, focusing on emerging challenges and also the partnerships. On October 23rd, I hosted the first Superintendent Student Advisory Council, joined by students from all 7 of our schools. I asked 2 key questions that sparked honest, meaningful dialogue as our students shared their experiences with openness and also being very vulnerable. That was truly inspiring to me. I want to say thank you to our 44 students that attended with me, and I look forward to seeing you all in a few weeks. Halloween brought about excitement to our schools and administrative center, but the highlight joining Higgins Educational Center to send off our Special Olympians soccer team was the top of my excitement. We are beyond proud, and these students return back to District 211 as state champions. Yes. This past Monday, November 3rd, I hosted my first Coffee with Campbell as I had engaged in conversations with community members, stakeholders, and staff. While small in size, the discussion was rich in ideas for District 211's future. So I look forward to hosting the next session upon the new year, which is going to be January of 2026. Lastly, I want to recognize our Township High School District 211 Board members of education. Although the official school board members' day is November 15th, I believe there's never a wrong time to express our gratitude. The work you do without pay and often without recognition reflects your deep commitment to our students, staff, and community. On behalf of the entire district, thank you for your steadfast leadership, guidance, and service. We hope you enjoy your small token of appreciation, and I just want to say thank you. I am honored to be a part of this team. The last thing that I do want to state in closure is that we did give a moment of silence today, but I want to acknowledge that we did lose a Conant student this week, and we just want to keep Conant High School lifted up in addition to the family and friends of the student in which we lost. Thank you.
Thank you.
We should be seeing our soccer team come before the board, correct? In
They
December?
absolutely will. Yes.
I want to mention a couple things. One is if you're not yet subscribed to District 211's page on Facebook, you're missing a lot of great updates and information, including pictures of coffee with Campbell, with some of the other activities that have been going on with the student reps and other programs in our schools. So anybody who's watching and anybody who's here, if you're not already in tune with our Facebook page, I encourage you to go in there and turn on notifications so it sends you updates on what's going on around the district. It's really a great, great site. And finally, something that I guess I could have put it for item of future discussion, but since I put the agenda together, you'll kind of see it, I guess, coming up, is that other school districts in our area, some of them have Board of Education updates. And it's an opportunity for members of the Board of Education to take a moment and mention what they've been up to. Maybe they went to see a show, or they went to see a concert, or they attended an event in our community related to our school district. And I'd like to start giving our board members an opportunity. And every once in a while, we get to kind of weave one into something like the auditorium and seeing a show. But it'd be nice if we had just the opportunity, if you've done something and you want to share it with your other board members or with the community, to be able to do that in that kind of a forum. So plan on seeing that at a board meeting near you, maybe December. So with that, the next item is upcoming events and calendar items. And real quick, in noting on here the National Honor Society induction ceremony, I know in some schools we have board members attend and sometimes participate. So do you know if there's anybody lined up for this particular one, or is there a need for this particular one? Ms. Russell is?
November 19th?
Yes, are you attending?
Yes, I am on behalf of the board.
Perfect, thank you very much. Otherwise, the next regular board meeting is on December 11th. So coming up. All right, next item on our agenda is closed session. And the recommended action is that the board enter closed session to discuss minutes of meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act and appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Barron?
No.
Ms. Cavill?
No.
Mr. Dombrowski?
No.
Mrs. Lopez?
No.
Ms. Russell?
No.
Mr. Van Dyke? Mr. Rosenblum?
Nay. The motion fails. The next items on the agenda are in relation to closed session items. The first item is that the Board of Education, in accordance with the master contract of the District 211 United Support Staff, approve the retirement request of Marguerite Mall effective May 2026, as submitted by Helen Miller, Director of Insurance and Benefits, and Lauren Hummel, Chief Operating Officer, CSBO, and as recommended by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Barron?
Aye.
Ms. Cavill?
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski?
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez?
Aye.
Ms. Russell,
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke, Mr. Rosenblum.
Aye, the motion passes. The next item is that the Board of Education approve the resolution regarding the suspension and dismissal of tenured employee Kevin Beers as submitted by Kurt Teneper, Assistant Superintendent of Administrative Services, and as recommended by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
Moved. Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Cavill,
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Aye.
Ms. Barron,
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez,
Aye.
Ms. Russell,
Aye.
Mr. Van Dyke, Mr. Rosenblum.
Aye, the motion passes. The next motion is that the Board of Education approve the resolution regarding the suspension and dismissal of tenured employee Lionel Clark Johnson as submitted by Kurt Teneper, Assistant Superintendent for Administrative Services, and as recommended by Dr. Judith Campbell, Superintendent of Schools. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Van Dyke,
Aye.
Ms. Russell,
Aye.
Mrs. Lopez,
Aye.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Aye.
Ms. Cavill,
Aye.
Ms. Barron,
Aye.
Mr. Rosenblum.
Aye, the motion passes. Having no other items left on our agenda to cover, the Board President declares this meeting of the Board of Education adjourned.